The defeat that Yuno suffered, I don't think will come without having large-scale like ramifications on the series in general. If you know anything about Tabata and his love for Berserk, he said that he wants Black Clover to be like the shonen equivalent of it. And one of the things about that is obviously not just the story of Asta, it's going to have a lot to do with his rival, with Yuno. And he's shown throughout the story that he's very well set at planning things out. He knows what he's got in mind. He doesn't seem to really wing things. I'm sure there are things that he would probably like changed last second, like maybe he realized something was better, but I think he has the overall picture of what he wants to do just fine. Now, in Yuno's defeat, I can see it being in a way played something similar to Griffith, and I don't mean like the full dark story of Griffith if you've ever read Berserk, but I mean the fact that if you have read Berserk, you know, like when Griffith was talking to the God Hand and they were referencing all the bodies that were stacked up in order to achieve his dream to be a king, to sit upon that castle atop the hill. Yuno's goal is very similar, him wanting to be the Wizard King, the castle that the Clover Kingdom has, their capital is on top of a very large hill. It's literally, as at least we've seen, the highest point in the kingdom. And going off of that, I can see there being at least plays in it being like, you should have known this was going to happen. There are going to be like lots of dangers and lots of people sacrificed along the way in order to achieve this dream. And I like the idea of it being switched to where with Asta, because their duality between like Asta and Yuno and the way that they're mirrored between each other all the time is really, really well done throughout the series. I think it's one of Tabata's best features. But similar to how Asta wants to end up like, doing everything he can to protect people, I think it'd be really cool to see if Yuno become like a little bit more brutal, a little bit more like serious and like understanding of like the reality of like these situations, and be like willing to sacrifice people in order to achieve his dreams. Because I really like that kind of like shift between what we thought he was like and what he's like becoming. I don't know if he's gonna like in fact 100% be like that, but the whole like possibility of it being set there from events in the past versus like stuff we know about Tabata, stuff we know that areas that he gets inspiration from, and even like the way that he's like being presented with stuff like, the 4-leaf clover grimoires, when they become like completely consumed by depravity, they will become a 5-leaf clover grimoire and stuff. All these stuff foreshadowed that it's a possibility for I don't know when it'll happen, but maybe he ends up going down that path eventually. And the way that he's gonna build it up is to have him actually like slowly erode like as a person, because when it was like the elf resurrection arc and he got shifted into an like the elf resurrection took over, I don't want to say he was taken over by elf, because I still have my theories about that, but you know how it was, at least from the fandom perspective and people reading it, there was like oh no, he's gonna become bad. It's like with Sasuke, and I thought more of, I don't think it will be. I don't think that Tabata's just going to do the exact same thing. And especially with him just kind of being like 180, went from good guy to bad guy. The way that I see him doing it, if he does end up making Yuno at some point more darker and then maybe eventually, an enemy even, I think it will be done in a much, much more like natural way. So I think in the next chapter, we're going to be getting like Yuno's whole mental state from this, him just reflecting on this massacre that went down, him just dealing with the loss of his whole squad and like utter defeat, and how this is going to change him as a character throughout the story. So comment below, tell me your thoughts are about this, and I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say below. I like to skim through the comments, especially in these prediction ones, because it's less of the people's take on the like a chapter, but it's more on their theories, which theories can, reading someone else's theories can spark something in your mind, get you, stoked up on other things, and as well as, you could also dispute things or agree with them, which is always fun. Other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, from the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening.